My fellow Americans. My name is Chris Thompson. Some of you know me, most of you don't know me. Because I'm nobody important. I'm nobody special. I'm just your average guy. But I'm a person who loves his country. I'm a person who served his country. I love my country so much that I joined the um, the United States Army shortly after high school, and I swore an oath to uphold the Constitution and against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And it really breaks my heart when I see the fabric of democracy being eroded piece by piece. The very the executive branch is getting too much power, and the other two branches, which were meant to act as checks and balances, are not doing so. Instead, what they're doing is giving the executive branch more power than it was ever intended to have, because the people who created our country, who created our Constitution, had been under the rule of a king, and they did not want their nation to be ruled by a king, by a dictator, by a monarch. But we see how our country is becoming, and the branches of government that are supposed to keep the executive branch in check are giving the branch more and more power. They're trying to create a dictatorship, and that isn't good for anybody, even Donald Trump's followers. That's not good for anything, because you think he cares, he or the people that are giving him power care anything about you, care anything about the voters? They don't care. They don't care. They're just doing a power grab. And we cannot let our country descend into this madness. I mean, I don't understand. Like it's just crazy. Like, why are we letting this happen? We are seeing these ridiculous ice ice raids going on, and people are acting, oh, that's their job. That's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to just like kidnap people from random places who haven't done anything wrong, because oh my God, they're not here legally, by like, which means sometimes they either crossed over the border illegally because they couldn't do it legally because they wanted a better life. But that's not the worst crime in all. What about, and some of the people um, have let their visas expire because they didn't realize they expired and stuff like that. But we're acting like they're complete and horrible criminals, while ICE can beat people up and drag them off into a van without identifying themselves, without giving any proof of who they are. And we also have the executive branch stripping the legal status of immigrants so that they'll be illegal, so they can um, basically arrest them and go, what, throw them in some country that's not even their country. um, this is just not what America is supposed to be. This is not the country I grew up in. This is not the country I served. And when we have all of our politicians and and I'm assuming the Supreme Court justices all have to swear the oath that I swore when I became a soldier, which was to uphold the Constitution from all enemies, foreign and domestic. And it looks like every person on the Republican side is doing the complete opposite of that. We have a Supreme Court that's ruling against the Constitution. We have a Supreme Court that is saying that the president has total control and total power, that the no one has any say, any courts have any say but the Supreme Court, that lower courts are no longer able to make an injunction against a presidential order that is both unconstitutional and immoral. They're trying to use the president's trying to use an executive order to get rid of birthright citizenship, which he doesn't have the power to do, because the 14th Amendment allows anyone born in this country to be an American citizen. He cannot do this without having you can't change a constitutional amendment or anything in the Constitution without an amendment. And an amendment requires both the House and the Senate to okay it. And the president does not have supreme authority. The president should not have complete and total immunity. I do not like the way my country is going. I don't like the way things are going. And it breaks my heart. It makes me sad. I want this country to be the country that I grew up in. I want this country to be the country that I was proud enough to serve. And that's all I have to say. It's just it's scary. Don't sit there and just act like nothing's a big deal. Don't just ignore it and let it go away. I mean, I don't know what we can do. I know we can protest. We can try things like trying to contact our congressman for our district and tell them how we feel. I, I'm not I'm not versed in all this stuff of how what we can do. I mean, seriously, I don't know if we can do anything, but we got to try. We've got to try to let our politicians know that we're not going to let our country descend into madness. Well, that's all I have to say for real this time. Okay, so um goodbye, be vigilant and stand strong. Be proud Americans and don't let America become something that it wasn't meant to become.